Hi, welcome to the course Launch Your Podcast, the beginner's guide to podcasting. I am Samuel Ade, the chief troublemaker at Podlog, and your guide for this course. In today's Module 4, we will be talking about selecting your recording gear and software for your podcast. In doing this, at the end of this module, you should be able to do the following. 1. Understand the basic components of a home studio or your home podcast studio. 2. Select the best microphone for your podcast. 3. Pick the right accessories for recording your podcast or your recording setup. 4. Understand how to record a podcast with zero budget. And 5. Select the best recording and editing software for your podcast. The basic components of a home studio or a home podcast studio. Now, there are certain parts of a home studio or something that looks like it that needs to be present for you to be able to produce great audio quality. And some of the terms used in defining these key components are not all of the terms are not key. They're not technical terms. You don't need technical terms since we're not in an audio production class. You just need to understand how these things works. So I've picked words from movies like Star Wars, Guardian of the Galaxy, The Transformers, all these really great movies so that you can understand what we're talking about. So the very first component is the transformer or the transformers. Now, as the name implies, what they do is they transform sound energy. What comes out of your mouth, what people can hear anytime you open your mouth to speak, they transform these things into electrical impulses that the whole system, that the whole studio, all other components of this home studio, the setup can understand. And there's just basically one transformer out there, which is the microphone. You can have different kinds of microphones in different forms. You also have the recorders and all of audio recorders. And there are also accessories to make this transformation smooth. You have the pop filter and the windscreen, which removes explosives from your audio recording. You have the mic stand to make recording very convenient for you. We'll talk about this in detail as we go further. The second component of your studio setup is the interpreter. Now, the interpreter does one thing. It is a bridge between the two ends of your home studio. So the first end, which is a transformer, which takes in which is like the gate, which takes in and transforms audio energy into electrical impulse. Then what the interpreter does, which is the audio interface, it interprets this electrical impulse into something that the computer can understand. It amplifies the sound. It also allows other components to connect with it. It's like a room that makes audio quality better. The third part is the monitor or the monitors, depending on the number of them that you have. What the monitor does is it monitors everything entering the system. Are the sounds great? Do they come out well? And an example of your monitor are the headphones or the studio monitors, or what we call speakers down here in Nigeria. The fourth part of this setup is the keypads or the keepers, depending on the number of them that you have in your studio. And the keeper is basically your computer. What it does is it collects the sound energy that you need that has already been transformed into electrical impulses and helps you keep them. You can also decide to edit them there. You can also decide to save, to store. All of all those things it does because it's a keeper. And the only keeper you have in a studio setup, the best, I beg your pardon, is the computer. Of course, your phone can be some sort of keeper if you're recording with your phone. Your tablet too can be some sort of recorder if you're connecting your mic to your tablet and doing your recording. It could be some sort of keeper, but the best is your computer. The last part, the last component of the home studio is the guardian or the guardians. They're like the guardians, as the word implies. They guard and prevent unwanted noises, unwanted sounds, room ambience, dog barking, a car driving by. This is what the Guardians try to shut out of your old setup. And basically, they're soundproofing materials coming in different forms, such as studio padding, such as sound reflectors or filters. All these things, even your phone, your bed can be some sort of guardian if you're recording with your phone. Now, this is how it all looks like. You have the transformer right in the heart of a Guardian, because the Guardian are soundproof materials trying to keep out unwanted sound. So you and your microphone, most likely your mouth, must be within the cover of the Guardian to make sure that it's just your voice, just the sound that you want that is entering into the microphone, which is a transformer. What the microphone does, it transforms sound energy, what comes out of your mouth, into electrical impulses that the interpreter, the keepers, and the monitors can understand. So once it does the transformation, it should go into the interpreter, and the interpreter does what it needs to do with the audio. Maybe you want to increase the volume. Maybe you want to do some other things like add other people's voices, mix it down, choose what. So the interpreter does that. It basically has to amplify the sound and makes it better before it gets to the keeper. And what you have up there is the monitor. You can see two arrows connecting to it here. There's one around there which allows your monitor, which is your headphone or your studio monitor speakers, to connect to your interpreter. And your monitor can begin to watch all the sounds coming in. Maybe there's some stops that the Guardian missed. The monitor is trying to tell you, okay, so and so. They're like the security, they're like the Air Force, of a nation. And they try and say, okay, there's something that shouldn't be in this system that is in there. I can see it. So it tells you to find a way to take it out, and if you want to keep it, fine. Now, you can also have your monitor connect to your keeper, and this is majorly for recording, for editing purposes. So when you're editing your sound, your audio, and you're trying to listen to the sound, it's good to do that with the monitor, not just with your laptop speaker. Now, the interpreter, what it does is sends all those electrical impulses into the keeper, and this is where you store, you edit, and you keep your audio recording. Now, choosing a microphone. Choosing a microphone is more or less the most important part of your record. In fact, it is where to start with. There are other important things, but it is where to start with. You can produce a great podcast if your microphone is not good enough. And in choosing a microphone, I've selected three basic options that I can vouch for. The very first one is the Audio Technica ATR2100 USB XLR microphone. This microphone, I tell you, is dope. One, because it has a cardioid polar pattern. Cardioid polar pattern, polar patterns for microphones, refers to how microphone takes in sounds. Does it take it from all directions? Does it take it from just one direction? Does it take it from a mix of both? Is it omnidirectional? There are different kinds of pattern. Omnidirectional, that is, it takes it from every angle, around the microphone. It takes in sound at the same volume level. You have unidirectional. Unidirectional are just microphones that take sounds basically right in front of it. So the microphone I'm recording with is a unidirectional mic because I moved to my side and you cannot hear me as clearly as you would have heard me when I was talking directly in front of the microphone. That's a unidirectional mic. There's a bidirectional mic that takes sounds from both the front and the back end of the microphone, or from both sides. So it chooses one, either the front and the back, or the left side and the right side. And there is the cardioid polar pattern, which looks like this. Now, the cardioid polar pattern takes in noise or sound around in the shape of this ball. So everything outside of this ball towards the side and not taken into the microphone. And you can see the pattern here. So every noise coming from all those directions, every sound, I beg your pardon, comes into the mic. And it's more or less like the best pattern, polar pattern, for recording a solo podcast. Now, it has both the XLR and USB cable connection cables. Now, you can see it here. These three pins are for the XLR connection, and what you have here is your USB cable. So what this means is you can connect your microphone directly into your system and do your podcast without any other added accessories. And what you have here is it also has this inbuilt jack that allows you directly monitor your microphone's output without audible delay. So in real time, you can listen to how you sound through the microphone. You can decide to say, oh, I'm sounding too loud, I'm too close to my microphone. You can make all those adjustments in real time without having to first take it into Audacity or your recording software and then listen to it and say, oh, it wasn't great, and then you go back and record again. No, with this you can monitor your sound in real time. It also has adjustable knobs that you can see here to reduce and increase the sensitivity of your microphone to pick your sound. Because it's a dynamic mic, dynamic microphones are very durable and sensitive to touch, and it's just, and besides, it has this durable metallic construction that allows it to last longer. So it's a very durable mic. Now, cost. Because of our fluctuating, not even fluctuating, ever rising exchange rate, it's difficult for me to pen down a price to a mic. I might call, let me not say one thing now, my guy at the top will say another thing. That's not funny. Now, it should cost between 17 to 25,000 naira as we speak right now. And yeah, something like that. Let's move on to the next option I have in store for you, and that's the Samson Q2U recording and podcasting package. Now, this is another affordable but great mic that you can use out there. It's cardioid and it's a dynamic microphone. Remember what we said about cardioid polar pattern and how it peaks sounds from mostly in front of it, although it takes more from some sides, but unlike the unidirectional that is just straight, its own is a bit curved out round to cover your mouth. It has both the XLR and USB connection cable. You can see the XLR and USB connection cable here. This is the XLR output, this is the USB output, and this is the headphone output. But unlike Audio Technica, it does not have the audio knob to adjust the volume of your recording. It also has the inbuilt jack that allows you to directly monitor your microphone's output without audible delay. You can monitor and hear how you sound in real time. And where it also beats the ATR 2100 is the fact that it has an headphones. I mean, so you don't have to get an headphone with this microphone. It comes with the whole package. And the Q2U can also, like most microphones, because you can also connect the ATR 2100 to your phone or to your iPad or to your Android devices using the USB camera adapter. If you're working with, is this little white cord here that allows you plug USB into it and then it connects to your iDevice, or through the host OTG cable. Now, the OTG cable is also something like this, except that the mouth is different, where it connects to your Android device, and you're good to go. You're recording on the move. You're outside there, you're trying, and you can record with your microphone and your iPod. Now, it costs between 20 to 28,000 naira. The range is around, so when you go into the market, please negotiate. Don't just pick a microphone like that. Especially if you're going to places, I advise you go to Computer Village. If you're going to Alaba, go with someone who's always been going. There's the Joe in Ibadan around Dugbe, the Joe Electronics, they sell good electronics down there. This is the basic places I know around here in Nigeria. Now, the third option, which is the Classic Audio F709 Super Unidirectional Condenser Mic, is my pick. This is what I use. I mean, and this is what I'm using to record this audio. This is what I'm using to record this video course. It is a superb microphone. So I was out there looking for Audio Technica ATR, looking for Behringer, looking for Samson, looking for Rode. Behringer was available, but was expensive. There was no ATR, there was no Samson Q2U. And someone just said, oh, why don't you get this microphone? People buy it often. I mean, I know someone who got it and came back to get another one because it was so great. And I gave it a try, and it was superb. It's a unidirectional condenser microphone. I know most times we advise that you go for dynamic microphones for podcasting, but if you can get a unidirectional condenser microphone, trust me, the sound is a lot more smoother with a condenser microphone than a dynamic microphone. But the condenser microphone is best suited for studio recording. So if you're going to get any condenser, I repeat, if you're going to get any condenser microphone for your podcast, make sure it's unidirectional. And make sure it's this microphone. Trust me, it also has XLR and 3.5 mm audio adapter for computers. So now you can connect this. This is the I think the female cable head that connects into the microphone. This is the one that connects into your mixer or whatever, your recorder. But this thing you see here, this 3.5 mm adapter, allows you to connect to your audio jack of your computer. So this male head here comes into here. That's an ½ inch head comes into here, and then your 3.5 mm allows you to connect to your computer. It is super cool for eliminating ambience noise. It does a great job of eliminating all this low ambience noise, people talking from far away distance. It can cut out that sound for you. Now, it also comes up with a windscreen, so I don't have to get a windscreen as I would have to with the two other options I have mentioned. It comes with it, and it eliminates all these pop sounds. So I'm going to warn you, prepare yourself. I'm going to try and pull out that pop filter and talk into the microphone and let you see the difference. So calm down. Okay, it's out right now, and there is no pop filter filtering my voice. Words like B, F, B, G, B, all those words create annoying sounds. I hope you can notice the difference. My voice is not as smooth, and if I try to move any closer, you're going to hear my lips, all those really annoying sounds. I'm sorry I had to go through that. So I'm going to pull this back, put my pop filter back into the microphone. It's going to screech a little bit. Okay. Yes, it's back in, and my sound and my voice is back to being smooth. The dopest thing about this microphone is it is extremely affordable. I mean, like, seriously, it is affordable. When I got it 7 months ago, it was around 8,000 naira, but I can't say the same right now, considering the fact that dollars added like 120 naira since then. So a dollar is like 460, and I think then it was still around 200 and something. So, hey, but it should cost between 8 to 15,000 naira. Well, like I said, try and bargain. Someone tells you 10,000 naira, don't just drop your money. Try and see if you can bring it down to, I mean, that's the truth if you don't want to be cheated. Now, there's one thing about this microphone. Make sure your laptop has a microphone 3.5 mm audio jack. If you have Mac, I know most Macs now don't have mic audio jacks anymore. So if you don't have that, you can connect it using a sound card. A sound card allows you this thing at the far end here allows you connect using the USB ports. Now, for iPhone users, you can also get this cable, this adapter. Just tell them you need a microphone and headphone adapter that allows you to connect using a 3.5 mm jack. So you can get this cable, which is great, and you can also get the sound card, which is some sort of looks like a flash, and there you can connect your microphone and connect your microphone and also connect your headphones into it. This is devices for laptops that don't have audio jacks, and you still want to use this microphone. So at the end of the day, you're not spending much just because your laptop or your MacBook cannot accept a 3.5 mm audio jack. Now, aside getting a microphone, there are other accessories you need to get to make your recording very great. The very first one is a mic stand. It's not practicable to attempt to record your podcast with an handheld mic, and you're also trying to record the software. Oh my, it's really going to be very stressful, and a mic just allows you a mic stand allows you put your microphone in a very convenient position and allows you record comfortably. So right now I'm using my mic stand and I don't have to touch it. I'm looking right in my screen. I can use my hands to do other things as I coordinate this video course, and I'm recording safely into my microphone. And a mic stand costs around 5,000 naira. I mean, that stays. It costs around 5,000 naira to get a fairly good one. There are a lot more expensive ones for video productions and all that, but the ones you would need are just the fairly affordable ones. And there are different mic stand designs that you have. You have the tripod, you have the tripod boom. This is how they look. The desktop, the round base, the low profile, the overhead. You have the boom arm. Also, depending on the space you have, you would need, if you have a desk that is usually free, you can get a table stand, which is a desktop stand. But if your table is always cluttered and there are a lot of things on your table, you can get a tripod stand, and then you make it stand somewhere and you can adjust the boom so that you can record what you need to record. The other accessories that you need is a pop filter or a windscreen. Now, what you have right in front of you is a pop filter. This thing around here that allows you cover the microphone. Remember when I pulled out the pop filter from the windscreen, which you would see soon. There's a difference. The pop filter is that round, this one, and the windscreen is this, foamy ball that you see most microphones use. This is just to remove the plosive sounds. Now, a pop filter is about 5,000 naira and a windscreen is about 1,000, depending on the kind of microphone you're using. If you're using the ATR or the Samson Q, you can use this windscreen. If you're using the unidirectional condenser mic I'm using to record this, it comes alongside with it. You also need a good headphones. It's no good creating your audio first, recording into your computer if you cannot listen to what you're saying properly. Even when you're editing, some sounds that the ear would not pick because you're listening using your computer speaker would be heard when you're using an headphone. You want to try and get a good quality studio microphones. I'm not saying go get a 300 naira earpiece or a 500 naira earpiece. I mean, just look for quality ones that can start around 4 to 10,000 naira. Don't go beyond 10,000 naira, but make it that way. So a fairly good one costs between 5,000 to 10,000 naira. Now, you can also try and record with zero budget. Oh, like, hey, Sam, I don't have any money for microphone and I still want to podcast. No problem. When I started podcasting, I was recording with my Samsung Galaxy S4 and the audio was great. Although I had to go through a lot to try and produce that great quality that I produced with easy via the microphone. But nonetheless, I was still able to come out with a good podcast with my Samsung until I got tired after 6 months of podcasting with it. Now, you can record with your smartphone and then remove your card or through USB cable, connect and transfer the recording into your computer. It allows you to quickly launch your podcast without having to say, okay, let me wait till I have enough money to to buy a mic. Even though if you have 9,000 naira now, you can get a microphone. Maybe a mic stand alongside that might make the cost between 10 to 20,000 naira. But if you want to launch quickly, just start with your phone. And one good thing about this is it allows you to get into the system, into the flow easily. You can quickly launch, you can quickly set out, quickly know what will work for you and what will not work for you. And although you just compared to a microphone, the audio quality is low if you're recording on the same level, although there are tricks and techniques to make it better, but they're always stressful to do. Now, when you're recording with your phone, there are softwares that I need you to get to help improve the quality of your audio production. Now, when you're recording, most times it's best to record in WAV format. And the following softwares I'm going to show you, like the Smart Recorder for Android device, just go to your Google Play Store, download this this app, and make sure you're recording at the highest quality possible. WAV format, 44 kilohertz is all right, but just try and record at the highest. But it means highest possible format means large file size, but it also means it is recording the best audio for you, and even after editing, you can still get the best. For iPhone users, you need to get the iTalk. Record with the best possible format available, and then you find a way to transfer to your computer for editing on your editing software. Now, the last part are the software you need for recording and editing your podcast. And the very first one is the recording and editing software, which is what allows you to edit your audio once you're done. Add intro, add outro, add the background music, and all of that. Audacity is one. Another is the Adobe Audition. Audacity is free. Adobe Audition is not. It's a premium premium package that you need to pay for. And there is also the GarageBand that comes with every Mac, every ProBook that you have, and it's free. It comes with MacBooks, and it comes pre-installed with MacBooks. But my pick is Audacity, and for quite a number of reasons. One, it is free to download and use. It is easy to understand and use. It is extremely easy to understand and use, and you can download it at this URL, or just Google Audacity for free download, and make sure you're downloading it from the www.audacity.team.org. And this is what it looks like when you head there. There's Audacity for Windows. When you head to the website, there's Audacity for Mac. There's Audacity for Linux. Just choose whichever one is suitable for the computer you're using and hit download. Now, aside Audacity, which is the major editing software you need some other add-ons to make your audio quality great. Now, sometimes when we record and we're recording, we don't record at the same mouth level from our microphone. So we take our mouth back and forth, and the levels are changing, and maybe we also have somebody else on the show, and we're not just recording. The person's voice is low, my voice is high, and if my listener, if they have to always increase and reduce the volume, it is a very annoying podcast for them. So Levelator does one thing: it levels the voice out, brings the lower one up, and brings the higher one down, and make sure they're all on the same level. It levels out the sound output, and you don't want to do this when you have your background music in it. So Levelator is just best for audio, purely audio, not music or anything. It's best for audio. The second one you would need is the iTunes or the MP3 tag. The iTunes allows you to add extra information that becomes useful for the iTunes directory and media player. So you see all those pictures the media players display when you hit song, the names, the title, and all this information which we will discuss in another module. These are the software that allows you. There is iTunes and there's MP3 tag. I go with iTunes because, of course, most of the extra information are used by iTunes. They have the largest podcast directory out there. So why not make use of the software that they have created to understand what they want from you? So you can also go with MP3 tag. I've used it before, though I stopped using it because, like I said, I'm using iTunes. But these are the two alternatives or two options under this category that I recommend. Now, there's a free audio converter. When you're going to export your audio from Audacity or your editing software, I always advise that you do it in WAV format. WAV format, which is a lossless compression format that allows you record the best quality ever, and then you take it into free audio converter and convert the quality that you need. So you could convert this to MP3 at 256, although this is pretty high. 112 or 128 is fine for the 4 kilohertz mono, and it just allows you to convert to any format that you want. It's free to download at www.dvdvideosoft.com, and it's a very, very terrific. Although you need to have this driver installed. I can't remember the name, but if you try and install and it prompts you for a driver, you can download that driver free online and install it. Now, when you're recording guest shows or recording people, you're having a conversational kind of podcast with people not in the same physical presence that you as you are, not where you are, and you can set a microphone, 2 microphones for them, and all that. You need Skype to be able to connect with people who are not in the same location. Say you also co-produce your podcast with somebody else who is not in the same location as you, so maybe in Nigeria and the person is in Canada. You guys can run a co-host podcast show through Skype. You record in Skype, and you edit it, and nobody else know that you guys are not in the same area. Although it's good to tell your listeners. Skype uses technology called VoIP, which is the Voice over Internet Protocol, and this technology makes it the best option over mobile phone recording. So you don't want to be recording through a phone call when you can use Skype, because Skype audio quality is way better than it. Yes, like I said, it's way better than phone calls, but yeah, of course it can't be as great as a microphone, but it's better than phone calls recording. Now, when you're also trying to record your your podcast using Skype, I know people just connect it directly to Audacity, but if you're the kind of person who wants to make the best use of all the resources at your disposal, then if you have a MacBook, download Ecamm Call Recorder, or if you're a PC user, you can download Pamela on your laptop, and you have it good to go. Now, it's an incredibly simple and effective way to record all of your Skype calls. Pamela for PC users, Ecamm Caller Recorder for Mac users, and they have this incredible support and tutorials online that can explain how to use their software as you can. Now, there is one more thing I'd like to add to this. These are heard from Lee Dumas, the podcaster at the host of Entrepreneur on Fire, is Zencastr. Now, say most times when you record using Skype, you connect to Audacity and you try to record. Sometimes there are network breaks where you're like, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Or the audio is lagging. Those kind of annoying spots are not easy to remove when you're editing your software. Or the audio is lagging and you have to, what Zencastr does is it allows your guest or your co-host in the other part of the country or wherever they are, record their own part of the conversation, their own part, not including yours, into this online platform, and you recording yours into this online platform, and you get it to studio, and you superimpose them, you mix them to form one audio recording that's so smooth, great quality. People won't even have to know that you're in a different location. And trust me, now that I heard about it, I am going to try it out. I've not tried it out, but I've listened to podcasts created using this app, and they are. If you don't tell me, I would not know that they were recorded at different location. So yes, you can record your remote interviews in studio quality, and once they're done, they can just send a link, and you get the tracks, and you're good to go. So this is like a bonus for you, and this is just going to make your podcasting journey very easy. Congratulations to you once again for coming this far. This is really great, and I honestly hope you've been trying to get as much as you can get from this tutorial, from these modules, and of course I can't let you go without an action point. This is what I need you to do. 1, get out there and get one of the 3 microphones I mentioned. try as much as possible to make sure you get, I know I'm root. If you can get the two other ones, Audio Technica, ATR, and Samsung Q2, you're great. If you can't, then make sure you get the third one, which is a unidirectional microphone, also known as a shotgun. The second thing I need you to do is decide on what accessories you need alongside the microphone you've chosen. A particular option came with the headphone, another option came with the pop filter, one other option came up with a small table stand. You just need to decide which out of the other accessories I've mentioned you now need to complete your setup. And lastly, download all the softwares you need to record and edit your podcast. Audacity, iTunes, or MP3, iTag, whichever one you're going for. Levelator, Audio Converter, ePamela, the eCam recorder for Mac users, Pamela for PC users, and register on Zencastr to be able to use their platform for separate recording. In our next model, Model 5 of 10 models left, I will be sharing with you tips for recording high-quality podcasts. I remain Samuel Adiri, aka Chief Troublemaker at Podlog, and your guide for this course. Bye for now.